Oh, wow. What is up, chat? Man, there's a lot of wacky stuff going on. What's going on? Why would Hasan do that? Did you see Valkyrae defend him? I mean, she kind of has to, right? They're both streamers. They're kind of dating, so she can't have any opinion unique to her own brain.
We will not be shocked any longer!
Why?
We will not be shocked any longer!
Oh, you can't see. Hold on. It's not that she defended him, it's the way she did. I mean, if she's going to defend him, she's going to just read whatever script he gave her, and it's going to be the same talking points as always. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think what I was saying. It's so boring. The whole internet is like converged on this like really cringe like mode of operation. Trump and the Republican establishment, they do all of their signaling and propaganda the exact same way that like Hasan and all the kind of like the lefty snarker people do. So anytime like a scenario comes out, you have like your top-down messaging. Obviously, you're as detached from reality as you need to be to sell your point. So you get your talking points, they go out to all of your people. You saw Denims, you saw Mike from PA, you saw all these other random people I've never even heard in my life just like tweeting out these weird sycophantic defenses of Hasan. We're all getting like 70,000, likes and shit. I was like, what? It's so crazy to me. Yeah, it's just boring. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Kind of like when, and then like the goal is to harass and destroy like anybody who is supposed to be on your side, but it's not carrying the line. So Hasan was signaling to his fan base of creepers and rapists and pedophiles that they need to like harass like Charlie and everything, so that he could try to bring him under his control the same way that he does with Ludwig and Valkyrae and all of the other spineless influencers that are trying to maintain their clout or whatever. Which is the same thing like the MAGA people do to their out if they feel like they're not towing the line enough. It's crazy to me like how blatant and obvious it is. Or it's not crazy. It's all, everybody's just like min-maxing for different things. But it's annoying that like they're allowed just to like pretend that they're doing anything differently.
Even breathe in the direction of Moise if I were you, to be honest. I mean, he put his fucking flag on the, he put his stake on this, okay? He was like, oh, enough people shit on him. It's good enough. It's like obviously not a, it's obviously, no matter how fucking made up a narrative it is, if a clip looks bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys. All these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points. And Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. And I don't think we're ever going to get ahead of that. There's just nothing we can do. Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that he can suck my dick. Weird how quiet he was about literal pedophilia in certain communities. I mean, it took him 2 years to fucking come out and be like, yeah, the genocide is happening and it's really fucking bad, actually. So, Charlie's been on a good streak lately. He genuinely cares about dogs. He talks about how much he cares about dogs and pets all the time. So do I, dumb fuck. That's the reason why I'm fucking pissed off. That's the reason why I'm fucking annoyed. He could just like unironically reach out and be like, hey.
It's so funny that they like are copy-pasted talking points.
Did look horrible. The clip was really bad. It was so bad. And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby or big baby that I have ever been around and that I have ever seen. So big baby. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but this priorities.
Like this retarded fuck couldn't find like a single Middle Eastern country on the map. Like why even say this? It's so cringe. It's so fucking cringe. Like there's a person who got scolded by their fan base for saying for real. Like, oh my God, kill me.
In this world are not where they should be. But alas. It's herd mentality. I mean, I think from the clip, it's understandable.
Stop, she's friends with Pokey. Pokey is a spineless bitch too. I mean, they're all so cringe. Like, all these people will tweet out when they see a single bad thing on Twitch, Pokemon included, all these other people will be like, actually, I think this is really bad. But like, when it comes to protecting their clout, protecting their bag, protecting their people or whatever, they're magically fucking silent. No tweets for days on it or whatever. It's just so fucking, it's so transparently cringe. That's just the cringe thing about it. Oh my God. And then it's just all of it is like so detached. Like, the situation is so boring. Like, it's so obvious the microsecond that it happens, like what's going on. Like the two things, this is why there's not even anything else worth talking about. There's two things that Hasan did that like sold me on everything 100%. One, I don't know how you hear your dog yelp and you don't have like any kind of reaction to that. That's just weird to me. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I was racking my brain for, you know, like, it's just stupid. Yeah, so number one, the reaction is immediate. And then number two, not showing the color immediately, because that would so easily, like, get rid of everything. You're just like, oh, it's not a shot color. But, like, him doctoring it, you know, doing his, like, 3rd grade arts and crafts program that night. Oh, I got it. I'll get him on this one, guys. This is the electrical tape. Will you say anything about the like and sweeping of Hasan? What? They're all brain broken. What do you mean? There's nothing to say. It's if they're on my team, then you will obfuscate or make up whatever fucking excuse, and you'll just defend the fuck out of them forever. That's it. There's no brain, thought, anything applied. Like, in all of them are the exact same. Like, again, Hasan or Trump could literally rape a 4-year-old on fucking video, and people will be out here talking about how, you know, well, they could have been tears of joy. Like, it's all of it is the exact same. It's so boring. And then it's like, well, what about, what about the fact that this is like really bad and they were screaming and crying? Hold up. I'm about to do my finest work, guys. 1 second. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Audience applause. Hold up. Out of context. It was out of context. It was out of context. And then when it gets real bad, if the out of context is only like 80% working instead of 100%, hold on. What about the genocide? What can I say? It's out of context clips during a genocide. Really, guys? You're gonna out of context me during a genocide? Really, guys? This is so boring. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. The one slightly edgy take that I would give regarding everything is I don't know if I have seen if it was just like a really lucky encounter, I guess, or whatever. I can think of 2 times in the past where I've known people who use shot colors. Just from what I've seen, shot colors used correctly are actual like demon magic. I remember that I think I was younger. We were visiting. I think it was just a friend of the neighborhood, and these dogs would run all over the fucking yard. It was crazy, and they would never step outside of the yard because they knew exactly where the bounds were. I don't know if I ever saw those dogs get shocked by the shot collar. They just wore it, but they knew exactly like where they could go. So just based on like the little bit of excuse or the little bit of like application I've seen of like shot colors, I don't know if I think they're that bad or if they're even bad at all if used appropriately. Also, I don't know how many people. We learned how to ride horses when we were younger because we had some fucking farmer friends my parents would take me out to. I don't know if anybody's ever played with an electric fence before or touched an electric fence, but my guess is that shot collars are probably never supposed to produce like a huge amount of pain. Like if you play with, if you've ever played with an electric fence before, I've touched one before that made me yelp. It was like, ah! But there's another one me and my sister used to play with, and when the shock shocks you, all it does is it like you kind of feel it, but it like tenses your muscles. It's like a weird feeling. But I wouldn't describe it as painful. And this is like to a 9-year-old, okay? So I'm not like fucking, Ramboing through this shock fence. But like a shock fence that you touch will be like, ooh, which is like it makes a weird feeling, and it like curls your muscles wherever you're touching it. So like you're not supposed to be like cranking this thing and ocelot torturing whatever the animal is. Now that's not to say for Kaya is the dog's name, right? It could have just been, I guess, like surprised, but who the fuck knows? But the problem though is Hasan lying so much about it kind of makes it look worse and worse and worse and worse. The big thing about him using the shock collar, it's not even about the shock collar, I think. It's the fact that it seems like he keeps this massive fucking dog as a prop. In the background of his stream all the time. That's just crazy. They work because it is instant negative stimulus. That is the key to training dogs. They have a 2-second attention span. That's why if you come home and yell at a dog, they made a mess, it won't know why. That's true. It's also true of humans too. Although humans can conceptualize things in time and space more. But that is true. If you come home and your dog like made a mess, people like drag their dog and they rub their face in it or whatever. You don't learn that way. You don't understand what's going on. But people respond very fast to like painful stimulus as well. Everybody does. Painful stimulus is a really big trainer for anything. That's why one of the indications that your like dog or cat might have like a tooth or gum problem is if they start losing weight, because things will stop eating if every time they crunch their mouth, they're getting like a negative response to it. What do you think of the mass hysteria around it? I mean, animals will always produce that kind of pain or that kind of response in people whenever you see like an animal getting hurt or pain or anything. It is pretty funny to see. It's just like looking at the propaganda machine in full time. It's just, I don't know. The collar had no prongs, man. Do you seriously think he DIY'd the collar? He had some, if you say retarded shit, I'm just perma banning you. That you will never be able to think of a good reason why he didn't just show the collar on stream. Like, he knew that clip was going to blow up. He saw it blowing up on stream. Like, that was the most predictable thing in the world. You should have just shown it on stream if he thought that was the issue. But he waited the whole night so that he could do whatever the fuck he needed to do. And then he lied about what the collar was, and he lied about what the collar, there's also like this kind of reprogramming. I don't know if Valkyrae is normally like a disgusting subhuman piece of shit for clout or significant others or whatever. I guess she dated that Sunny guy who was like an anti-vax and everything in the past. So I don't know, maybe she can pick him. But I mentioned later this stream that I do agree how he reacted to her yelping was so disappointing, and it's understandable why people are concerned. It's not that it's like disappointing. It's just it's indicative of like a character thing. I just don't know how you, especially if you claim to like animals, right? How can that happen? You just don't care. You have no reaction at all. You spooked Honey and you were so apologetic about it. Well, because as gay as animals are, okay? If I have one, I think animals are cute. Well, yeah, and I feel like if you surprise an animal, you're gonna... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Honey, oh wait, what happened? Why did they get spooked? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, I think I got something wrong and then he got spooked. Honey, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm just so good. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. That's just crazy to me to hear a yelp and then have no response. Yeah, I don't know. But he's lied about like every part of this dog too. Like he bought this dog from a breeder, right? I think it is the most expensive dog breed you can buy. So he bought the dog from a breeder. He lied about it. He said, "Oh, a friend gave it to me." He keeps it on stream as a show dog. Like every single thing he does is like for hyper consumerism, capitalism, whatever bullshit. He barely showed the collar too. If it was a vibration collar, then she wouldn't let people speculate about the model. Oh, sure. He didn't have a reaction because he knew he pressed the button. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, that's why he didn't have reactions, because he knew what he was doing. I don't think he realized that he did it on stream, maybe. But that's like, it's kind of like when PewDiePie dropped that N-bomb on the bridge. Like, the only way you do that is if you're just saying N-bombs all the time. It's like, oh, shit, you know? Yeah. It's the fact that he used the collar out of annoyance with his dog, needing him to attend her needs instead of streaming, that makes the use of the collar disgusting. Well, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, it's the fact that he just has this dog enslaved in the background. But then there's also like a whole bunch of shit going on Twitter. It's like makes me question my sanity. Like so many of these like weird Shakanabe dick sucks who are like, oh, it's actually super normal for tons of dogs to just sleep in the same spot for 8 hours a day. Or like, I feel like I don't know if I've ever seen in my life a dog do that. Even I even made like a pre-concession when I quote tweeted it, and I was like, maybe with really old dogs. But even with really old dogs, like they might not jump around as much, but I feel like if they hear any sound, they do the thing where like they're laying there and they'll hear like a sound, and then the head will come up a little bit, and then the old tail will start like back and forth, and it's like, oh god, he's about to investigate. I don't know if I'm sure there are some breeds or some dogs that I haven't like had first-hand experience with that maybe just do lay around a ton. I've heard the thing that like if you take your dog to the park, and then like the reason why dogs are hyperactive so much is because they don't get exercise, and maybe that's why they're hyperactive all day. I've heard that before, but my grandma and I, when we were younger, the two dogs that she owned the longest, we used to go outside and play with them all the time, and like they'd run around and everything, and then you could come inside, and they might lay down for like 10 minutes, but they're never. I used to say this as a kid all the time. I used to ask my grandma, do dogs ever actually sleep? Because I've never in my life walked into a room and seen a dog sleep before, because as soon as I hear anything, they're like looking around but I don't know. I think he keeps a dog in the back as a prop. It's consistent with every other part of his fake, disgusting, fucking hyper-capitalist, hyper-consumerist, parasocialist life where, you know, the private jets, the expensive, gaudy, shitty-looking outfits, the huge fucking Hollywood mansion that he needs for his family, who are also all rich and from insane wealth and money and luxury. The faking, you know, coming from whatever background when he's literally doing equestrian, you know, flying around the world, going to different schools. Just like every part of his life is like, it makes sense that this guy doesn't give a fuck about animals and abuses the fuck out of, you know, whatever dogs, whatever. It's not surprising to me. Do you think Fandy giving birth on stream was problematic? I mean, if streamers are getting pregnant to have kids on stream, then maybe. Where are we at? Oh, I was laughing about something on stream like 2 weeks ago, saying I would talk about it later because I don't know if they'd actually do it. They did do it. Oh my god. I don't know why, but Pixie blocked me on Twitter when I called her out for scamming with her donation drive. I'm like 95% sure that she scammed with her donos. I think her parents have to be fucking loaded, or this law firm is just doing the lawsuit on contingency because they thought that I was going to settle and give them a whole bunch of money. So now they're just having to waste all their time on this stupid fucking lawsuit. But But either way, there's like, she's already accumulated way more than $50,000 in legal services. So I don't know if she just never needed the money, so she's just like on a little spending trip. But dude, I woke up like I think I woke up like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I looked at my email and I'm like, are my lawyers like fans, or why are they messaging me about like Israel Palestine shit? Because I get this email about like some proposed order to like The Hague. And I'm like, what? And yeah, I guess they actually filed this with the court. So oh my god. Oof. Wait, we'll get to those. Let's do these first. So, oh wait, oh shit. Actually, wait, there's been so much docket activity. We'll get to that. Okay. Have I talked about what like pro hac vice means or whatever? I don't know what it is about me, but I like break everybody's brain. Like nobody can have any reasonable take on anything. Like all the internet lawyers, like the fat lawyer guy, the fat Kiwi Farms lawyer guy, the thin passport bro guy, like all of their expertise just completely get dumped out of their mind when they give legal comment or anything. I don't know. Esports Batman I saw. So this is just another lawyer that works with my team or whatever in California, and you have to file things in order to appear before a court in another district. Some people think I like switched law firms, or some people think that I don't know. Some people are saying I'm trying to spend more money. Some people are saying I'm trying to spend less money. It's just another lawyer from the same firm that is already working on this case. But my guess is that pro hac vice here means that they're allowed to appear in this venue for, I don't know, to do a deposition or appear before a judge or whatever, but that's all this is. Yeah. Can you say if your lawyers are surprised by the actions of plaintiff or not? I don't like to speak for them as much besides what shows up in filings, but yes, I think everybody was surprised. Okay. Okay, so we were invited by the judge to file a motion to dismiss. Now, from what I'm aware of, just real quick, you have like 3 ways. You've got 3 shots to win a case. You have your pleading stage, right? So somebody sues you, and you can either respond or you can file for a dismissal. This is at the very, 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 very beginning. Okay. In the early stages of a lawsuit, in the beginning, right at the start, you can file, I think it's a 12B1, is a motion to dismiss. Okay? For a motion to dismiss, the judge has to read the complaint as though every stated fact is true, and then the judge will just make sure that prima facie there's some kind of complaint. I think you use prima facie to describe like civil complaints, right? To make sure that like the elements of whatever, civil cause of action that are stated are being met by the complaint, and then, you go from there. So again, let's say that somebody says, hey, I'm suing this guy because there's a civil statute that says you can't call people assholes. And I'm suing this guy because he said that I was a big meanie. So fuck this guy. And then let's say the other guy files a motion to dismiss and go, well, look, they failed to state an accurate complaint because I didn't actually call them an asshole. I just called them a big meanie. The judge would look at it and you go, okay, well, I uphold the motion to dismiss. It's granted in whole because you're not suing them. It doesn't make sense, right? You just said they called you a jerk. The law says you have to call them an asshole. Fuck you, After the pleading stage, okay, you go through, I guess you would call this the discovery phase. This is where both sides are allowed to send subpoenas, request documents or information from both sides. You go through all this bullshit. And at the end of this, both sides are allowed to file a motion for summary judgment. On a motion for summary judgment, the judge will read the motion for summary judgment. That's basically saying, judge, listen, there's enough shit here. Okay. We win. Fuck these guys. Just give us the W, judge. We don't need to go to a trial. And what the judge will do is he will read the evidence most favorable against the movant. So when you file a motion, you're moving, right? So against you, but he's still allowed to consider the evidence. So, you could lose on a motion to dismiss and win on a motion for summary judgment because the judge is like reading more evidence or whatever. this is has always been kind of the goal, is where I think, because in my case, the plaintiff has put enough lies into the initial complaint that it's most likely going to survive a motion for dismissal. But since she has no evidence to back up any of her lies, because that's kind of how lies work, the goal is hopefully to win on a motion for summary judgment, which is why I still think it's most likely to happen. And then if the motion for summary judgment on both sides is denied, then from here, then you go to trial. And then that's the third point, right? So you have your motion to dismiss, you've got your motion for summary judgment, and then you have your trial, where you win in front of a jury. I don't remember at what stage this happened. Maybe it was related to the preliminary injunction. No, it must have been before this. But something got filed and the judge invited us to file a motion to dismiss. And so right now we filed our motion to dismiss. I don't know if it was 12B1 or 12B6. It might be 12B6 for subject matter jurisdiction. I think 12B1 might be failure to state a complaint. But one of the issues related to my case is that the plaintiff is suing me under a law that wasn't active when the alleged behavior happened. So as a result of that, she can't really sue me under that law, but she's trying to anyway by like inventing dates or switching numbers around to try to make it look like something happened when it didn't. But the problem is we are now 8 months, I guess, into this case, and the plaintiff still has absolutely no evidence to back up any of the stuff that she has said. We're 8 months in, we've had plenty of time to look for stuff and do stuff or whatever, and we're still having this very scary, subject matter jurisdiction question. Now, subject matter jurisdiction is kind of spooky because if you haven't established this, then the whole case gets tossed, right? Because there's 4 causes of action that are stated in the case. The first one is a federal cause of action, and then the next 3 are state causes of action. The only reason why this can be in federal court is because of the federal cause of action. If that gets dismissed, then there's no reason for this court to hear this case. Like one example of a reason a federal court might hear a case is because of 2 people living in a different area, right? Diversity jurisdiction we give it. We don't have that. Supposedly we both live in Florida. So this is kind of a big deal if they haven't established this yet, right? This is something that ideally would be established immediately because subject matter jurisdiction is the whole reason why a court can hear a case. So because this subject matter jurisdiction question keeps popping up and the other side hasn't really addressed it at all yet, they keep kind of like dodging around it, making stupid claims. In response to one of the motions, the judge invited us, to file a motion to dismiss. And we did. And that was our last filing, I think, was a motion to dismiss. Now, like I said before, on a motion to dismiss, the judge really should just be reading the complaint. And if you just read the complaint, you assume it all is true, that our motion to dismiss should fail. However, it is possible that because we're kind of like deep into discovery at this point, that maybe the judge looks beyond the 4 corners of the complaint and considers some of the evidence, especially because it's a subject matter jurisdiction question. He doesn't have to. Regardless, though, if it's a negative on the subject matter jurisdiction question, or rather, if he denies the motion to dismiss, whatever the judge writes, there will be good guidance for the motion for summary judgment. Whatever we do on the motion to dismiss is going to get rolled into a motion for summary judgment. So that's where we're at. Okay. Sorry. Got all this bullshit. At Destiny, why isn't subject matter jurisdiction taken up before 150 documents been submitted to the court? Well, the problem is because they're lying about like the evidence they have, and it's hard to prove that before we've gotten through discovery. Why couldn't you have filed it like 7 months ago? Our motion for dismissal? I mean, we could have, but there's just no point. Like they would absolutely win on a motion to dismiss when the case was filed. They've got enough like statements in there. They've got enough statements in there that it should always survive a motion to dismiss. Yeah. But okay. So we filed a motion to dismiss, and we've been bringing up for months now this question of subject matter jurisdiction. So they need to reply to our motion to dismiss. And I would imagine that in your response to a motion to dismiss, you're trying very, very hard to establish your subject matter jurisdiction. It's kind of important because if you fuck this up, you lose your whole case. So this is their response to our motion to dismiss. Plaintiff's opposition to motion to dismiss amended complaint for lack of subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12B1. Comes now, plaintiff Jane Doe, bind through the undersigned counsel, and hereby opposes Defendant's motion to dismiss submit a complaint for lack of subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to FRCB 12b1, blah, blah, and respectfully as follows. Introduction. Defendant's motion is nothing more than an improper attempt to short-circuit plaintiff's core Cardi claim. The motion rests entirely on factual disputes, whether his disclosures predated Cardi and whether he disclosed the video to ABMC that go to the heart of the plaintiff's cause of action. Now, factual disputes are important. Okay, the reason why you want to bring up factual disputes is because a factual dispute is not something that a judge is supposed to settle. Judges are here to help with process and procedure in matters of law. A judge is not supposed to decide if they believe one side or another. So where a factual dispute exists, the proper venue is generally a jury, right? Or proper venue, the proper process, you want a jury to decide disagreements in fact, right? By styling his factual defenses as a jurisdictional challenge, defendant seeks to have the court resolve disputed merits questions on a Rule 12b1 motion. This is not the law. Under binding 11th Circuit precedent, when jurisdictional issues are intertwined with the merits, as they are here, the court must assume jurisdiction and deny dismissal. At most, defendant's arguments may be raised on summary judgment after discovery is complete. For now, the motion should be denied outright. Relevant procedural background. Discovery closes December 16th, 2025, but is still in early stages. So they keep saying that it's in early stages. The reason why they're saying this is because they have nothing. To say that we're still in early stages of discovery is absolutely fucking ludicrous. My assumption is they're just trying to make this claim so that they can push this case out for as long as they possibly want. But like, more or less have turned over everything they've asked for. They keep asking for like broader and broader things. Like, I don't remember if I said this before, but at one point in the early stages of this case, they were saying that they wanted every single image and video that I'd sent and received over the past 5 years. That's how broad that they thought they could do like their discovery. This is just like a fucking joke. It's like, this is never happening. You're out of your fucking mind. So they're committed to this idea that, oh, no, we're still just starting. They're still just starting discovery. Somebody in chat said they want the case to go in front of a jury. I've seen it in my dreams. I don't think they do. I think they just want to drag it out for as long as possible. I would be surprised if they really wanted to go in front of a jury. Maybe they are that delusional, but yeah, I think it would be really rough for them. But written discovery is ongoing, and depositions have not yet been conducted. Written discovery only began after the court granted plaintiff's protective order on September 2nd, 2025. Plaintiff produced over 3,000 documents on September 5th, with additional productions on September 22nd. So they add this in here to sound like fancy or whatever. So of the 3,000 documents that they produced, about 2,800 of them are just single lines of text. So for instance, there's like a group chat, I think, that a bunch of people were in. And that group chat is 1,000 documents because every single individual message is thrown into its own text file. I don't know if this is standard practice, if like courts are literally just kangaroo courts or just a joke in the United States, or if this is just a thing that was designed to waste my time or to waste everything. So I have to stay awake at night and open, 500 text files at a time and go through every single one so that I can see if there's anything relevant in here. But when they say they produced over 3,000 documents, this is basically a fucking lie. But cute that they throw this in here. Defendant, however, delayed production until September 12th and provided incomplete, deficient, and forensically unsound materials. So I have to make my stuff, I want to make my stuff presentable. I don't want to just throw them random massive files of bullshit like they threw me. My production was great. I think it was readable. I think everything was there that needed to be there. I think I brought it way more than I needed to. I will stand by my production a million times over the disgusting shit that they provided, but whatever. I don't think I can really go into details over what is produced, just broadly, because technically it's all governed by protective orders and everything, and you can't leak, what's produced in detail or anything. But we're going to get into this forensically unsound materials argument because holy AIDS. Defendant's ESI, this is something to do with forensics, was not collected and preserved in a forensically sound manner, thus it cannot be authenticated and is not reliable. See declaration of Jesus Benya, forensic expert, Exhibit A, here too. Okay, we're going to hop over to this. So one thing that I would like to say is, one, I don't know. I guess I just haven't read very many 12b1 motions or responses, but I feel like they spend a lot of time attacking my points and they have nothing of their own. That seems a little scary to me. if you're fighting on subject matter jurisdiction. I feel like the onus should be on you to say, hey, no, look, we really do have a right to have this court, this venue, this jurisdiction. These people should be listening to this. You guys should be listening to this case instead of attacking them all the time. The funniest thing about this is if you back up and you think about it, all of their attacks against my evidence, they're going to try to point out like a million things they don't like. Her only evidence of anything are images that were leaked to Kiwi Farms from a clearly malicious actor. So I'm like fighting with digital shadows here, where I'm like, they want to nitpick every single part of my production and evidence. By the way, none of which has been shown to have been tampered with, spoliated, anything, nothing like that, right? But they want to try to nitpick around the corners. Like every single thing I provide, they have literally nothing. They still have literally nothing. We are 8 months into this fucking court case, and they have absolutely nothing. All they've done is waste time, waste money, waste the court's time, which I guess was her goal from the start. But we have our wonderful, ingenious forensics expert, Jesus Peña. Jesus Peña. I, Jesus Christ himself, declares as follows. Over 18 years of age, I'm the founder of eForensics Inc., and I have over 24 years of experience. My CV is attached here too as Exhibit A. My fields of specialty relate to digital forensics and e-discovery consulting and advisory services, and information security auditing and assessments to law firms, corporations, municipalities, and federal agencies since the year 2000. My digital forensics experience includes evidence acquisition, evidence analysis and reporting, and expert witness testimony as it applies to electronically stored information found on mobile devices, workstations, virtual and physical servers, routing and filtering devices, and cloud storage and computing environments. As part of my job duties and responsibilities, I perform digital forensics and e-discovery services, and I oversee the technicians who perform forensic inspections of information technology assets. I personally review and analyze the electronic data information that is mirror imaged and or otherwise retrieved from those computers. In total, I've testified over 50 times as either an expert or a fact witness in depositions, hearings, and trials in state and federal court. I have been certified as an expert witness by the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, the Texas Southern District Court, the District Court of Maryland, and the Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles. I provided other testimony in the Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Sarasota County courts as a computer forensics expert and fact witness. Whew. Okay. I co-authored 3 books covering Windows, macOS, and mobile phone forensics written between 2021 and 2023 entitled El Arte y la Ciencia de la Investigación Digital Forense, Sistemas Windows, do you say W's in Spanish? Windows Vol 1. Análisis Forense and Sistemas Windows, Spanish edition. I'm not reading all this. Okay, but anyway, 3 books. I don't know if it was translated or what, but I was panelist at the 2019 Judicial Event / MSP Recovery Legends of the Boardroom Conference and covered blah, 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 blah. Okay, all of this bullshit. I was engaged through eForensics Inc. by by plaintiff to perform digital forensic services and to consult on e-discovery related matters. With respect to the digital forensics analysis, I was tasked with reviewing all materials produced in this matter, including analyzing pleadings, declarations, and responsive documents by the defendant, with the goal of testing the veracity of plaintiff's allegations and defendant's responses. The final opinion / conclusions expressed in the declaration are exclusively my own and are based on my professional expertise, training, and experience. Okay. We have Jesus, the God forensics guy. Okay, hold on. This filing happened right after my Phoenix show, so I spent the entire 10 hours of the next day writing up a whole ass fucking brief for this bullshit. Let me just find, make sure I don't miss anything. Doot, 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 doot. 3 days ago? Wait, how many days ago was this? Oh, it's this. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. I probably won't do this, but just in case. This case pertains to plaintiff's claims pursuant to the Intimate Image Protection Act, which went into effect on October 1st, 2022, that at least one video of plaintiff and defendant having a sexual encounter was made accessible on the internet by the defendant well after the law went into effect. Dissemination of the video. In the defendant's motion to dismiss at 12, paragraph 1, the defendant alleges that the video is named vid_241 and contend that he transferred it to a Discord user with screen name Rose on April 9th, 2022, which is prior to the effective date of the Cardi statute. As will be discussed below, the evidence relied on by defendant to support this April 9th date is inconsistent and appears to have been tampered with. Thus, this has not yet been conclusively established and would require further discovery. So they rely on this stage a lot, further discovery. I don't know what that could possibly mean. Discord won't have any logs of any of this. You can subpoena them out the ass if you want. I think they already have. The only person who has any information about this is going to be me and maybe the solo guy if he backed anything up from the Discord account, if he has his logs. So I don't know what further discovery they could ever... All they're trying to do is just discredit all of my evidence. But keep in mind, at the end of the day, if you want to attack the productions that I'm making to you, insofar as the evidence that I have, all you're relying on are screenshots posted by another user. You don't have access to any of this. But okay, let's keep going. However, for the purposes of the following continuing accessibility analysis, this is a new thing. This is like a Roberts immunity decision for Trump. Okay, they're trying to make this weird continuing accessibility argument, but we'll go through that. I will assume the date of initial disclosure was April 9th, 2022. On November 29th, 2024, 29 of the defendant's files were posted to the KiwiFarms.com platform by an individual with the Kiwi Farms screen name Solitani Leaks, who created an account on the very same day. One of the 29 files was the video as defined in the amended complaint. The leaked files originated from Discord, as can be seen by two of the file names prepended with spoiler. I'm going to be a little nitpicky here because, one, this guy is trying to claim that I've fucked with stuff in terms of forensic investigation, and then two, just because if we want to get into like super tech shit, okay, we can. So on Discord, if you transfer a media file and you spoil it, Discord will automatically append or prepend this spoiler underscore to the file name. To say that that means that it originated from Discord, I mean, that's a word you could use. I would say it was transferred on Discord with the spoiler tag, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. You could add this to the file name yourself if you wanted to, and it certainly doesn't mean that the file originated from Discord. It was transferred to Discord at one point in time. I don't know how into the weeds you want to get on that, but whatever. The file naming convention is unique to Discord and applied whenever an attachment is added and the user flags it as a spoiler. Just random footnotes about Discord and Kiwi Farms. The fact that some of the leaked files begin with spoiler indicates that the hacked files originated from a Discord account that either sent or received the files. In the case of the video, it could have been obtained from accessing Rose's or defendant's Discord accounts. So like this, well, I mean, like if you want to be technical, the video, so I don't know how hard it is for anybody to understand this or this is intentional. A digital file is just zeros and ones. To say that it originated from any particular place, you can make perfect bit perfect copies of any digital file. So like if I wanted to, I could take a video, I could send it to myself on Discord or to any random person on Discord and have it spoiled, and then it could come from there. To say that because it has a spoiler mention on it, it must come from one or two, it's just not necessarily accurate. It seems like this might be a little bit irrelevant, but I mean, this weird argument is going to keep coming up over and over again. Digital files are just zeros and ones that can be bit perfect copied in any way, size, shape, or form at any particular place. It's impossible, really, to tell where a particular file originated from originally, unless you have, like some kind of metadata stamp or something like that. You would need some other piece of evidence to show this, but whatever. In defendant's declaration, defendant claims the leak likely came from a compromise of Rose's Discord account. This has not yet been conclusively established and would require further discovery. Okay, so this is why I'm bringing this up. You cannot ever conclusively establish this without asking Discord themselves to give you a log of the conversations. I don't know what further discovery you think you could ever do to conclusively establish where any digital file came from. This statement doesn't really make any sense, but Okay. It's just a stupid, for somebody who's an expert witness, I don't understand. He should be more clear here. Like, what do you think you're going to find in further discovery to conclusively establish the source of a digital file? Doesn't make any sense. After defendant's disclosure of the video remained on Discord's content delivery network until it was finally deleted by defendant after the November 29th, 2024 Cubefirms post by Solo Tiny Leaks. Between April 9th, 2022 through at least sometime in December 2023, the video had continuous/ongoing posting with unprotected, unrestricted accessibility initiated by the defendant by means of either direct use of a uniform resource locator or via queries to any number of search engines. Okay, so every single digital file that's transferred to somebody is continuously accessible. That's just the nature of a file. Technically, it's the nature of every single thing ever. If I give you a Polaroid, an actual physical picture, then that physical picture is continuously accessible to you always. It's never going to be, I can't take that away from you if I've given it to you. Much the same if I text you a video, if I text you an image, it's always going to be available to you to copy, to share, to send, or whatever. That's just the nature of the world, of physics, of time. There's no way to undo that. I can't delete a file from your system. But and also, we're going to get into this via queries to any number of search engines. So this queries thing is just, I don't even want to say it's a layman's reading of what's going on. I just don't know if this Jesus guy has no actual experience with e-forensics, or maybe, if you've had a case where this guy was an expert witness, maybe you should go back and look at some of the testimony that he gave. I would feel comfortable questioning this guy in a court of law and embarrassing this guy because he just doesn't understand what he's talking about. He just doesn't, I don't know. I just don't know what this guy's background actually is. Maybe he only translated these books, but this guy is like very clearly incompetent when it comes to this realm of how many times have we fucking CDN server kill me. But whatever, okay. This unprotected, unrestricted accessibility of the video is a result of how Discord implemented storage and access of message attachments on its CDN servers that cache Discord's attachments. Between April 22nd, 2021 and up until sometime in December 2023, when the vulnerability was finally rectified. Wait, did I skip something? No, okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Between April 22nd, 2021, and up until sometime in December 2023, when the vulnerability was finally rectified, Discord was known to have a significant security issue wherein all attachments sent in messages were permanently accessible from the CDN servers simply by navigating to a permanent web address that pointed to the attachment. See Exhibit C herein of a Discord community forum post taken from the Wayback Machine titled Privacy for CDN Attachments, where it first describes the issue back in 2021. This major security hole resulted in bad actors using the platform for malware distribution. The news regarding the issue and resolution went public and was widely distributed on many popular media outlets in early November 2023. Below are links to a few of the posted articles. Okay, let me tell you what this guy is saying, and it's just so stupid. So what happens is on Discord, when you try to send a media file, when you try to send media to somebody on Discord, let's say, for instance, I send you an image, okay? You can look on your Discord. When you're sending an image, I can't explain with precise technical detail what happens, but I think all of Discord, like programmers utilities are making anything, so it's all like embedded shit or whatever. Like it's like a lot of the Discord display, I'm pretty sure it's just like HTML and CSS. I shouldn't say lazy. That's not fair, actually. This implementation of a language is already used, is simpler, it has a lot of support, whatever. But when you send a media file to somebody, if you right-click on that media file, you can open it in a browser. What's actually happening is when you attach a media file onto Discord, what you're doing is you're uploading it to Discord servers, and then Discord is instead sending a link that serves as an embedded media file in your conversation. So you can right-click it, open the file, and you actually get a link on like a web page that you can view on your browser. That when you right click and you open source or whatever, that's what's happening. But what happened is, so every time you see like these links or whatever, like this was potentially originally just sent as an image to somebody on Discord, but there's a link here for the availability of it, okay? Now, initially, those links on Discord would be permanent. So when you link somebody, when you send a media file, whatever link is generated, that's like the permanent URL to access that media. At some point in 2023, Discord changed it so that those links automatically refresh every 24 hours. So if I send you a link to an image on Discord and you open it, in 24 hours that link won't work anymore. I would have to go back into the Discord messages and I would have to open the image again and then send you the new link. Now, this is important for two reasons, okay? One is because it still means that anything is accessible if you have the link to it. And two, it means that in order to get the new link, all you have to have is access to the original Discord account. And you will always have the new link because you can just right click and open it again, okay? Now, he links here a ton of different sources. I've already read through all these. Let me see what I include on this. Jesus, I wrote like a 13-page response to this. If you go through and you read each of his links, I don't know if he actually read these or if he's just trying to pull a quick one or whatever. It will tell you in each of his stories, while Discord users won't be affected by the links, which will automatically refresh every 24 hours, those using the links outside of the platform won't be able to do so once they expire 1 day after being created. They will have minimal impact when it comes to using Discord, and end users are unlikely to notice a difference from within the app. Okay. The bleeping computer one, I think, has the same quote. There is no impact for Discord users that share content within the Discord client. Any links within the client will be auto-refreshed if users are using Discord to host files. We're going to find a more simple service. This article says it as well. The changes won't affect content shared within the Discord client, as links in the app will automatically refresh. Wait, where's my quote here? Did this not? PC Mag. Oh no, I only did list 3. Okay. It probably is the same quote from Discord, but okay. So all this to say that like this is, yeah, this is just, this is a nonsense argument, but okay. He refers to this as a vulnerability, all right? But the problem is he's calling this a vulnerability. It's just a way that they host files. Now, I think you can see an obvious problem here on Discord's end. I think the reason why this was considered not favorable for Discord is because what I could do is I could theoretically just create a conversation with somebody. I could host 100 files, and then I could just embed those files onto other people's like websites or whatever else. And now I have a permanent file hoster via Discord, right? Which is probably not how Discord wants their CDN to be used, because now, you know, they're paying a whole bunch of money for storage and shit, and a bunch of bad shit could originate from their servers that are just hosted indefinitely. It's just not like a good environment for Discord. So that's why they auto refresh the links every 24 hours. I don't know if I would call this necessarily a vulnerability, because there are a ton of ways that you can, if you wanted to abuse this, you could get around this. So for instance, I imagine, I need a not hedge. It would be trivially easy to create a bot that automatically sends links to another account, like that that the bot owns, and then to just automatically scrape the Discord account and refresh any hosted link every 24 hours. That would be trivially easy to do if you really wanted to, right? But to address the vulnerability and the issue of permanent accessibility, in December of 2023, Discord implemented authentication enforcement, which basically replaced permanent links to attachments with temporary ones that expire within 24 hours. By doing so, Discord effectively solved the problem of its CDN servers hosting malware. So that's not true. Like again, this would be like a statement where if I would read this, I would say, okay, this person is not very technologically informed. They know like enough to have some terms used incorrectly, but like they don't know what they're talking about. Again, you could arbitrarily create bots to scrape this. I don't know why he is insisting on this line of argumentation or where this line of argumentation even came from, but okay. Hold on. Someone in chat said it is a vulnerability in the sense that links don't have the same permissions as the channels they come from. Doesn't matter. That's still all the same. The only thing that changed is that 24 hours is the only time a link will remain accessible, then it can refresh. That's the only thing. But everything else is still exactly the same, just that the links refresh every 24 hours. That's it. Okay. I think I even quote... Oh, yeah, actually, wait, I do. Because it's funny because even one of the comments in one of the articles that he links, This person even makes the same comment. I wrote a longer message explaining why this isn't going to help, and it was eaten by a server error, so I'm not typing all that out again. Basically, all a malware distributor has to do is figure out a way to automate getting Discord to generate a new download URL and then send that to wherever their distribution scripts pull the latest URL from. I also made a sarcastic comment about it being possible to use Twitter for that since it only costs $1. But yeah, it would be arbitrarily easy to create, trivially easy to create a bot to do this. Also, this authentication enforcement just refers to logging into a Discord account to get the new links URL cache. That's all that is. That's just logging into Discord. That's what authentication enforcement means. That's it. Okay. Equally important, the change also resulted in the inability of search engines like Google and Bing to index the attachment files because when the engine's crawlers returned a day or later, the URLs expired and the engines would not be able to find the files to index. So he's going to make this argument a few times. This is not true. Search engines do not index media files sent privately in Discord DMs. Search engines or crawlers do not have access to those DMs. They cannot index that information unless somewhere on some Discord-owned server, there was some kind of vulnerability or some kind of part of that database that was open-facing without authentication or credentials to the internet somewhere that a crawler could come in and just start scraping all the links. This is not possible and has never happened. At least it's never been disclosed to the public. So unless Jesus himself is sitting on some day zero vulnerability, some day zero exploit that nobody knows about, that gives him permission to scrape every single link inside of Discord's CDN, this is just not true. But okay, we'll get there. Discord generates the new temporary URLs with authentication enforcement in the background, which appends some parameters to the old URL style in part to identify expiration date. I don't know if he even knows what he's writing here, but again, the URL's authentication enforcement, there's no authentication enforcement in accessing any of the URLs. It's just getting the original link, which all you have to do is be logged into a Discord account and then right-click it and open file. That's all you have to do. So if I go into any Discord right now and I right-click and I click open link, that link that's generated, that's what I need the authentication for, to just be logged into my Discord account. If it's like posted in some public channel or posted anywhere else and I have access to it on a Discord account, I just log into that Discord account, right-click and open it. That's all that means. The new style temporary link creation occurs in the background only if the recipient or sender of the attachment views the message with the attachment. At that point, Discord's application programming interface will render the message on the application's screen and automatically creates the new temporary link. What is important to note is that once authentication enforcement went into effect in December of 2023, any old style permanent URLs became obsolete and the attachments were no longer reachable with the old style permanent URLs, but the attachments physically remained on the CDN core and CDN servers. Of importance is that both before and after implementation, if the attachment was removed by the sender, i.e. here the defendant, it would delete it from the Discord core servers and then the CDN cache servers. Back to the video file. Solo Tiny Leaks appears to have obtained it from Rose's Discord account in November of 2024. So this means that the person had access to the Discord account, which means all of this bullshit is irrelevant because they had already passed the authentication enforcement. So whatever. Thus, the video attachment remains stored on Discord's CDN servers, on Discord CDN, between April 22nd and November 29th, 2024, and remained accessible to Rose until it was deleted by defendant sometime after November 29th, 2024. Again, this is true of every single digital file ever. If I send you a text message and you open, like if I get somebody's phone, I have access to every text message file ever sent to this person. This argument is ridiculous, but now we're doing this weird argument. However, it was also publicly accessible via the permanent link and reachable by index engines between April 9th, 2022 and early December 2023. This is not true. Although the length of the permanent URL made it virtually impossible for anyone to guess it, nevertheless, dissemination and propagation likely occurred through search engine indexing. Excuse me. Can you please demonstrate that? What do you mean likely occurred? What? Although search engines do not index video or audio content itself, I mean, I think some can, like bits and pieces, but whatever. It does index multimedia files metadata, which can be rich in information. As a result, up until December 2023, search engine queries could have easily stumbled upon the video simply by searching for keywords that matched the indexed metadata. No need to guess the URL. Therefore, now keep in mind what this guy is asserting here. This guy is saying that you could Google search for likely metadata hits on private message files sent on Discord, and that Google or Bing's search engine will have indexed those videos. Now, I don't even know if on Discord if metadata is stripped from files or not. I'm not sure. I know on Twitter I think they strip a lot of the EXIF data, but this is just not true. This has never, ever, ever, ever been true, ever. This is not. It's just not true. Therefore, while it is not definitively known if Google ever indexed the video, it is a highly likely scenario, as seen from the fact that there are confirmed cases of search engines having indexed content on the Discord CDN servers. See below. Now, his links are funny because you don't have to click through the links. You just have to read beyond the emphasis that he adds for how stupid his argument is here. Zscaler's Threat Labs reported that Discord CDN was exploited for malware distribution with permanent links shared on external platforms. External platforms are where the links were shared. Now he adds an emphasis here. Some malware files were found in Google search results indicating indexing. But then the next sentence is, for example, searches for specific malware file names or URLs surfaced CDN-hosted files as crawlers followed links from public sites. This means that if I right-click a link I've shared in Discord and then I share that link on a public site, well, then of course it's going to be crawlable, indexable, because it's hosted on a public site. And then his next source says the same thing. Trellix noted over 10,000 malware campaigns using Discord CDN links, and then he adds an emphasis here, some of which were indexed by Google. But then if you go on to read, when shared on indexed forums or paste sites like Pastebin. This included PDFs, images, and executables, not just MP4s. So yes, when you share when you share a link on the internet, like on a public website, that link on an indexable page will be indexed. But that's not because Google or Bing have access to the actual, like inside of Discord servers to index every single media link. It's because they were already shared elsewhere. In short, the post-October 1st, 2022 ongoing dissemination and accessibility occurred because the video was not deleted until after November 29th, 2024, and there was an active and permanent URL that pointed to it through December 2023. Moreover, search engine indexing crawlers from Google, Bing, and others were known to index the Discord CDN servers. Okay. Also, keep in mind, and I brought this up, I don't know if this has ever shown up in a court motion. It might have shown up in one or two. I mean, it would come up at trial, of course. If you're really going to make arguments like this, you have short-circuited plaintiff's entire case. Because in that case, I would go, oh, so if you share a Google Drive link or if you share a media file on Discord, that means that it's publicly accessible? And, they go like, yes. And it's like, oh, well, how did defendant share with you, plaintiff, the files? Oh, through a Drive link. Oh, so then did you consent from the very beginning for all of it being publicly accessible? Because you knew it right at the start, right? Oh, shit, I guess I did. Fuck me. Now, you could say, well, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, well, if you didn't know that, well, then why would defendant know that? Why would anybody know that, right? This is just like the most self-defeating, stupid argument. Destiny, I'm not good with tech stuff, but can you clarify if this guy is saying you can get access to private Discord content by searching them on your browser? Yes. So what this guy is saying is that, like, let's say, for instance, I know that Right to Bear Arms lol, he sent a video of him eating a cat to Jader Vernanda. Okay, what he's saying is that I should be able to go onto Google and I should be able to search Right to Bear Arms lol. Where do I think he lives? Oh, I know he lives in Russia. And maybe what would he have in the metadata of his file? Maybe eating cat. And I should be able to put search on this, and Google or Bing will somehow have indexed that private video file, and then I can get a direct link to it by searching to it on Google. That's what he's making the claim of. It's nonsense. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid argument. Like, keep in mind how huge this vulnerability would be. This would be like an almost, do you remember the iCloud vulnerability? This would be like on that level of exploit if a vulnerability like this was discovered. That somehow Google or Bing were indexing every single media attachment sent in DMs. Like, this just is such a ridiculously stupid argument. But whatever. In conclusion, by defendant's own admission, He used Discord to send the video to Rose as an attachment. There were no protective measures in place to safeguard his and the plaintiff's privacy. Well, there was, because you had to be logged into the account to view either one. That would be the quote-unquote protection. Such as, 1, the platform used to send the video would encrypt while transmitting. I don't know what the fuck encrypt means here. I mean, if it's an HTTPS link, technically it's all encrypted. Are we talking like man-in-the-middle attacks? Or what are we talking about here? This doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're talking about encryption in terms of like, do you need a certain key to unlock the file? I mean, that would be a redundancy because you already need to be logged into Discord. You need to be logged into a Discord account in order to view the file. So for all intents and purposes, it is encrypted. I don't know what this means. This is stupid. Okay, number 1. Number 2, the platform would store attachments in an encrypted state and require authentication. It does store it in a, I would argue, some kind of encrypted state because the URL is like a 64-character string of random shit, which is essentially is a form of encryption. I guess you could argue in terms of how you would access a file, you know, unique identifiers. And it does require authentication. You have to log into a Discord account to get the link, okay? And or 3, the recipient would give assurances that it would be safeguarded. What does this mean? What? Even if the recipient had given assurances that it would be safeguarded, which I think you could argue was implicit between the both of us, the account was accessed by somebody else, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. Like, all of this is stupid. These are all just like stupid. This is like a nonsense. I don't know. The Discord vulnerability related to attachments being publicly available should have been considered by the defendant, as it was a known issue in the Discord community for an entire year before the defendant sent the video. What he's calling this a vulnerability, the way that they cache links and the way that they refresh URLs is not relevant to any single part of this ever, and he is misstating what this was insofar as a vulnerability goes to. This is just stupid. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. It's just a stupid, all of this is stupid, but... The video remained active and accessible to the public until December 2023, when Discord converted to temporary links, but by that time, Cardi had been in effect for 13 months. Moreover, the video remained accessible to Rose and anyone who had access to Rose's Discord account until after November 29, 2024, when defendant finally deleted it. Yes, again, welcome to all digital files, always. Do you think there's a small chance the lawyer is actually tech retarded? No! I think that this is, I think it's very easy. And as we get more through this, you'll see. It's just, all of this is literally lawfare. It's literally just designed to waste my time and my resources and to try to keep my reputation depressed for as long as they can keep the case going. But, well, I mean, I feel like that's super obvious at this point, but. The defendant's evidence mismanagement and consequent unreliability. A review of the pleadings and materials would indicate that the defendant's ESI was not collected and preserved in a forensically sound manner. Whew, I'm about to trigger the fuck out of me with all this. This is just all of this is so stupid, okay? This failure constitutes a critical deficiency as the foundational principle of digital forensics dictates that cryptographic hash values must be generated at the time of collection to ensure the integrity and authenticity of the data. Without these unique digital identifiers, there is no reliable method to determine if the data set has been altered or compromised at any point after its initial collection. Okay. I don't know if this guy just watched his first Hackers movie or what, but what a cryptographic hash is that you are essentially sending, imagine you take a bunch of data, like on a paint picture or on a PDF or whatever, and then you run through all of this data. And I'm sure there are probably more sophisticated ways to do this, but like imagine you take every single piece of data and you find a way to just like mathematically convert it into some string of 32, 64, 128, 256 characters or whatever. And you can't like a hash doesn't allow you to get back to the original data, but what it does is it's like a mathematical symbol of a unique value generated by all the underlying data. What that means is that if I alter the data in some way and then I hash it using the exact same algorithm as was hashed before, if I change any of the underlying data, then the hash that's generated is going to be different than the prior one. So a hash doesn't allow me to go back to the original data, like some form of like encryption or conversion or whatever. But what it does allow me to do is to check if the original data has been modified in some way, okay? Now, take a step back here, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not a unique hash. It could, like, theoretically, two different hashes could. I feel like there was a really, really, really unique database leak a long time ago that used a hashing algorithm that was stupid because you could theoretically have two different passwords generate the same hash because it was a really small, it was a really short. I don't remember. Fuck, this is a long time ago. This is irrelevant though. This is like niche, stupid shit. The big issue, okay, the stupid part here with talking about anything having to do with a cryptographic hash value is a concept, okay, called chain of custody, all right? You are asking me for a cryptographic hash. Why? All I have to do if I'm going to doctor evidence is doctor the evidence and then hash it. Why the fuck would me giving you a cryptographic hash verify the authenticity of anything I'm showing you? The chain of custody starts with me. This is such a stupid fucking argument. It makes no sense. The equivalent here to a cryptographic hash is taking a photograph of like a crime scene before investigators start messing with shit, okay? Why you take the photographs first so that you can see how everything originally was. This is an important part of a crime scene. Now imagine how stupid it would be to have photographs of a crime scene if the first photographs you have are photographs made by the accused. Do you know how stupid this would be? Like, oh no, we have photos of the original crime scene. Oh, who gave you the photographs? The guy being accused of murder. Oh, well, what if he like just moved the bodies first? Well, that's a good point. This whole cryptographic hash argument is so stupid because if I was going to doctor anything, I could just doctor a thing and then give them a hash and it wouldn't prove anything. It's so stupid. But, okay. This principle is the cornerstone of digital forensics practice. Okay. For comparison reference, the plaintiff's acquisition log of her mobile phone, which includes the requisite cryptographic hash values, is attached hereto as Exhibit B. Now, the thing that triggers me so much about the... Oh, wait, this is Exhibit B in his own thing, sorry. The thing that triggers me so much about this stupid fucking argument and then his... Stay here. Okay. He's saying that because the defendant provided a cryptographic hash of her cell phone, that somehow this means that the information that she's given me is right and true. But there's several problems with this, okay? Number one, if she's deleted anything on her phone before making that hash, I have no record of that. I don't know if this hash is telling me what was on the phone prior to, her taking that. Obviously, it only tells me the time she made that. That's number one. Number two, all of the information that we are fighting about right now, has to do with messages on Discord. Discord messages are stored. He just spent the first whole fucking 10 pages of this stupid expert witness summary on Discord servers, not on her phone. This doesn't tell me anything about what's on her Discord account. This is basically just a snapshot it's like a disk image of her phone's drive. And it's a hash value of what's on the phone's drive. This doesn't tell me anything about what we're contesting over what's on any social media accounts because that information is stored on her phone. Like, it also won't tell me because this cryptographic hash is also worthless. Actually, it's even worthless for another reason that I didn't even consider before. Because this hash, I think, was made. I feel like I remember seeing this hash was made in March of this year. Yeah. This hash is made on March of this year. She could be sending and deleting messages after this hash. This only would allow me to analyze the contents of her phone's drive as of March 28th, 2025. Anything afterwards, I don't have any cryptographic hashes showing like text messages or anything, right? And I don't know if she's deleted or anything before taking this screenshot here. So like, just all of this is stupid, right? This is just such a pointless, stupid argument. The idea that you would talk about a cryptographic hash when the chain of custody starts with the person being accused of the malfeasance. It doesn't make any sense why you would care about my hash. But somebody said, Destiny, if you open Discord on the phone, the data is on the phone. Yes or no? One, Discord will store some data locally on your phone, but not all of it. And 2, it's only going to store data of recently opened messages, and I don't even know if that data is wiped when the phone is restarted or not. You can test this yourself. Go onto your phone and open Discord, and then open a message that you have open, like already, and the immediate text might be there. Okay, it might be there, it might not. And then just scroll up a little bit and you're gonna see a little loading symbol. That loading symbol, if you try to, let's say you open Discord, like you can do this. You can open Discord, you can open a text message, or not a text message, a Discord message. You can turn on airplane mode on your phone, now try to scroll up. You can't access it because Discord doesn't have that data. All of your conversations aren't saved locally to your phone. They're pulling them from Discord CDN. Okay. This is so stupid. Oh my God. At Destiny, chain of custody hashes are usually collected before any examination of the disk. Yeah, sure, but they're also usually collected by like investigators, like by people who are seizing your shit. Like if the FBI were to come and steal all your shit, they would probably make a hash in the beginning just to verify, as they investigate, as they do stuff that like nothing's being changed or whatever. But like you would never ask, or maybe in some use cases you would, I don't know. But I can't imagine you'd ever ask an accused, hey, can you give us a hash of the data before you send it to us so we can make sure you haven't doctored anything? It's like, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and doctor my shit first, and then I'll make the hash. It's just a stupid. It's so stupid. But, okay. The defendant's mismanagement renders the production entirely unreliable as it cannot be authenticated if asked to reproduce findings from it. Simply put, there is no way to run a cryptographic algorithm that will ensure the data was not altered after being preserved because there's no value to compare it to. Thus, defendant's evidence is not reliable and cannot be authenticated. Let's say that we roll with all of this, despite how stupid this argument is for at least 7 different reasons, okay? Let's say that we roll with all of this. Okay, fine, you got me. I didn't make the random arbitrary cryptographic hash. What do you have for evidence? Because all you have are screenshots that were posted on Kiwi Farms from like an obviously malicious user. You don't have any cryptographic hash it. Like, I could theoretically just say, if we're going to roll with that, I could say, actually, I don't think I ever sent any message. I don't think I ever contacted that account at all. All of those messages from that account were actually just memes. And I actually think Pixie leaked their own shit on the internet just to try to fuck with me. I don't think any of that was from me. Like, what a stupid argument. But, okay. Spoliation. There is significant evidence of apparent document tampering related to defendant's document production and to his evidence submitted in support of his motion to dismiss. Now, again, keep in mind, they are nitpicking all of my evidence so hard to try to show that I've tampered with something, maliciously altered something. Now, keep in mind through all of this, there are 2 things to keep in mind. 1, I already know that the plaintiff maliciously altered her messages. She's never, ever, ever responded to this in an email. She's never responded to this in a court filing. I know that she maliciously altered because I have 2 strong pieces of evidence. 1 is she deleted the part where she said that she was going to ask me for more money, but she'd feel bad about me saying no. She deleted that message. She's never explained that, and she has no record of that. The only reason I know that is because I happen to have a screenshot of that part of our conversation, number 1. And number 2, I can see in my own archives of our logs that she went back and she edited at least 1 message that was sent months ago on January 20th, the day before she sent me the request for evidence preservation. So that's 2 examples of what is obvious spoliation, obvious malicious spoliation. She's deleting or altering things that she knows will help her court case. Otherwise, why else would she go back 3 months and edit a message a day before sending me a request for preservation, right? So I already know that she's engaged in this exact behavior in a malicious manner. They're trying to accuse me of doing it, but they're doing it against nothing. They have no evidence. Nothing that they have requested from me have I not been able to produce perfectly and flawlessly, and nothing that I've produced has ever been in contradiction with anything else. It's not like I've shown something and they've been like, oh, look, we proved that defendant lied here. No, that's never happened. All of my logs are good. All of my records are preserved perfectly, and I've kept every single thing that I've needed to for this case, and I produced every single thing I've needed to for this case. The only thing they can do is these weird technologically retarded attacks on how I'm storing stuff, and it's just so stupid. But, okay. There is significant evidence of apparent document tampering related to defendant's document production and his evidence submitted in support of his motion to dismiss. The first instance relates to an excerpt of Discord messages from defendant's Discord account, which was prepared after January 17, 2025, and the corresponding message is taken from a screenshot taken well before January 17, 2025, from an account belonging to a Discord user, Rose, see below. So one thing that they're trying to show is that Okay, so I think I've said this in Core Values, you probably said this in Discovery, is that when this person started to leak stuff from, ordinarily I don't manually delete from Discord. Usually I'll just use redact, and redact always produces a log of deleted stuff. But obviously in the case of this account, like I was scrolling back and I was just like manually deleting videos. So as I'm manually deleting stuff, there's going to be a difference in screenshots where they're talking about a particular video. And because I delete this video, you know how on Discord, sometimes they, if messages are sent within 7 minutes, it doesn't timestamp every individual message. They just get kind of, I don't know if you say truncated or compressed into a single one. You have to like hover over the stamps to see the individual timestamps. You understand what I'm talking about, right? Because I deleted a video here that I'd sent, allegedly, the video of the complaint, in theory, so he goes on to say, so he's showing these messages, in theory, had both conversations been collected at the same time, the content would be identical. However, that was not the case, and the version from the defendant's side is conspicuously missing the video attachment that was originally sent by defendant on April 9th, 2022. However, pursuant to defendant's declaration of April 2025, upon plaintiff's request, defendant removed the video, presumably from the Discord chat message to Rose in late November 2024, which explains why it is missing from defendant's chat history. See below. So he tries to draw this stupid fucking graph, or not graph, he tries to draw these two images where whoever the fuck is on this Rose account, I'd love it. Oh my God, that was amazing. I can't wait to blue you now. Okay. There was a message from me in between these two things, but I right-clicked and I've deleted the message, right? So that means that what Discord does with the HTML logs is they automatically compress it into this one thing. Now it looks like both messages are sent from this account at 8:33 p.m., but that's not the case, right? This last one could have been sent up to 8:40 p.m. and it would still be combined in the same one. But he's trying to say that because both of these are falling under the 8:33 one, it's evidence that I've tampered with the message. Destiny, hey, just FYI, if you hover over where it says edited, you can see the exact date and time she edited her message. I know, Zol. That's why I know that she edited a message 3 months prior, because it says edited on January 20th. That's why I knew it was so weird. It's like, why are you editing a message from so many months ago? I don't even know it was in that original message, by the way. And if this does make it all the way to trial, you better believe I'm going to push to have the jury read that in the most unfavorable light. Because why the fuck are you editing a message? Hold on, let's see, Control F, edited. Yeah, it was a message that she sent on November 29th, okay? It was a message she sent on November 29th, and when I hover over the message, it says it was edited on January 20th, 2025. Which was the same day or one day before they sent me the preservation of evidence request. So she must have went back and edited this knowing that after I got the request to preserve evidence that I was going to be backing up, archiving our conversations. So like, I don't know how else a jury or anybody would read that besides, because she can't tell me what that message was because she didn't archive any of her stuff, right? Because I haven't given any of it to us. So... But anyway, so Discord expert, by the way, who doesn't seem to understand this. Destiny, the legal mindset guy was cackling hard over this point, and when he read the amendment that admitted that they got this wrong, he pretended like it further proves you're wrong. The legal mindset guy and the other fat dude, it's just so crazy how, like, I don't know, they're supposed to be lawyers, but it's just so, this is like such obviously unhinged behavior. And it's funny because even, I think Noel has actual like representation because Noel probably needs a Wikipedia friends, but I think even Noel is posting my thread. It's like, yeah, my lawyer friend says that a lot of this is pretty stupid, pretty bad, but... So after Jesus himself, analyzes our messages here, he comes on and he says, there is an apparent sign of tampering seen in defendant's message from Rose, wherein she comments to have viewed the video before its documented arrival, which is physically impossible. It does not appear that Rose somehow came back and edited the 8:33 p.m. message after viewing the video. The only way to upload a message from a Discord user is for the owner to delete or edit, in which case an edit would have edited appended to the message, and no such qualifier seen. Remember, expert witness, by the way. This is the expert witness. Expert witness, by the way. Is legal mindset the H3 simp lawyer? No! Legal mindset might appear to be an H3 simp lawyer. Legal mindset is not an H3 simp, though. He's just a Hasan, Denims, and all those other people hater. So he'll appear to simp for Ethan when he can, but it's just because he hates the other side. This temporal and logical inconsistency serves as an apparent indication of post-Discord export manipulation. Moreover, the defendant relied on these same chat excerpts in his motion to dismiss, revealing the same inconsistency. The defendant relied on a comparison of these two documents as the sole support. Now, keep in mind, he says documents. I'm comparing them to a screenshot. That's just a screenshot posted on Kiwi Farms, okay? It's not like Solo has made himself available for deposition or discovery. So, okay. Of these two documents as the sole support for his assertion that the evidence conclusively establishes that the video was transmitted on April 9th. The Discord chat thread does not show any transmission of the video at 8:36 p.m. and also appears to have been tampered with and is thus not reliable evidence. The second spoliation? It should be spoliation, but whatever. The second spoliation issue noted, I don't even know if spoliation is a word, is noted with Exhibit E of the motion to dismiss, ECF, wherein defendant appears to have manually transposed content from a Discord chat with screen name in Bloom 1991. The timestamps in Google Drive file identifiers in the URLs from the chat history do not match the same from the list the defendant prepared of media files sent to Discord screen name ABMC. See below. So this is particularly funny, but also particularly, I guess since my life is a joke, I'm really only laughing at this stuff, okay? I want you to understand, okay? All of this is just kind of funny to me because I'm rich, okay? If this was like 3 years earlier in my career, I actually don't know what I would do for stuff like this. Because I would have gone to a significantly cheaper law firm. And then I guess we would go to court fighting over this because it's just an unbelievable set of circumstances. So let me explain, okay? Remember, this is an expert witness who's already shown a surprising level of tech incompetency leading up to this. Not thinking, imagine the claims he's made in this so far, that Discord's entire CDN is exposed to the open internet for archiving. So every single DM media file has been exposed to search engines for indexing, right? Prior to 2023. And even still today, it's just 24-hour links, right? So it's already surprisingly stupid. What a stupid statement to put in an expert witness testimony. He's shown incompetence over how Discord displays its messages. Okay. But now he's going to say that these links being different demonstrate, they demonstrate that I have tampered with the evidence. Now, I don't know why my law firm did this, okay? I don't know what was going on or how they handle their documents. But the thing is that if you look at the evidence tampering, it's pretty obvious that what's happened is it looks like they used a scanner or something. They printed something off and then scanned it. And when the scanner was translating the information from visual back to text, the scanner missed a few things. So for instance, I have a link here and it says WBT/view, but the T/ it read as a V here, right? That T/ instead of reading it as T/, whatever transcribed it read it as a V. And then same thing down here, you have a I don't even know if there's anything wrong here. Maybe it missed an underscore. I guess right here under just put a space, right? So again, if you are an expert witness, this is something that you should know, okay? You should know this. This is a common transcription error from, something reading text and then... But he says that this is evidence of me... Sir Queefs a lot. Are you the same guy that emailed me? I just didn't put this out because I didn't know if it was relevant or not, but somebody said Google and Bing crawlers follow robots.txt file. You could see if search crawlers would index the paths with sensitive DATs, LOLK. I had somebody emailed me about this and showed that you can actually go through all of the file information on Discord media files, and you can see that they have that, it's like no dash robots or something for not crawling, but I wouldn't include that because I feel like you could probably ignore that if you wanted to. But maybe you say they follow it, but I don't know. I just didn't include that. But I don't even need that argument because it's obvious that they're not indexing every single private media file. It's just ridiculous, right? So anyway, he says, there is more evidence of tampering. The two Google Drive links that Bunnell purportedly sent to both Abby and Peach in the two chat threads are actually not the same link. The highlighted links below are from ECF 132-7, and the non-highlighted links are from ECF 132-6. The highlighted URL has .zhr31, lowercase l, and the bottom one has zhr31, number 1. Also, the highlighted URL ends in wbt/view, and the bottom one ends in wbv view, right? So what? So are you saying that I intentionally edited these in a place where a scanner would fuck up? What is the argument? The highlighted link begins with 1K, and the other one comes from this and believes 1K or L underscore K. Also, the hell. Thus, the above evidence, which was relied on by defendant in his motion to dismiss for his assertion that his preserved communication logged with ABMC conclusively established that he never transmitted the video to her at any time, is not reliable evidence because it appears to have been tampered with. Now, okay, so I said before, right, I have a lot of money, so I can afford to fight this stuff, you know, despite my YouTube monetization, demonetization, everything. The egregious thing, the really, really, really disgusting thing is, wait, what happens when I just make sure? Okay. Is this fucking disgusting piece of shit didn't write any of this, okay? Remember how I keep saying they steal fucking arguments from fucking kiwi farms, okay? So he wrote the link out for this here, but this idiot, I'm at courtlistener.com, okay? So this is what is publicly uploaded. This fucking moron didn't change this to an actual link, and he accidentally left his fucking source material here, which is a link to an image hosted on fucking kiwi farms, okay? Now, seeing this, obviously, I tried to scroll around to see if I could find, okay, well, I wonder if he actually like got these arguments from the thread. This fucking piece of shit. So like, I can literally control C this whole, including the punctuation and everything. He literally ripped this line for line from one of my biggest fans, Code Cave. Both of the examples that he took here, right? Highly link has, right? I can copy paste this whole chunk here. The whole thing, he ripped both of these examples word from word, punctuation and everything. He just copy pasted them from Kiwi Farms. When you pay an expert witness, you're paying money for somebody with expertise to establish some fact to the court, to the judge or the jury, to establish some fact that they can comment on because they're expertise in an area. Why the fuck are these guys paying an expert witness to copy paste from Kiwi Farms? How can you competently, like, I don't do anything with filing down here, but like if I had a prior court case involving this dude, you better believe I would attack all of this guy's expert witness testimony. I don't think I would trust this motherfucker for anything. How the fuck are you copy pasting whole parts of your argument from a Kiwi Farms post? And you can see this is exactly where he got the argument. I feel like this would discredit you from, like, that's just insane to me. How could you do that? He's supposed to be an expert witness. Unless he wants to come out and say, well, I am Code Cave, and that's why I actually am that guy. So I'm actually just copying for myself.